I guess now we move on to the second part of the death series. I guess. So the first part was about the experience of death as a child, and if a child can actually feel sadness, grief, or understand the consequences of it. And I was being general in the last episode, but really I think that was it. I should have been talking specifically. I think it was very specific for me because I lost my grandfather when I was younger than I could remember, right? And I didn't realize that that was something that was a big moment. I don't remember it. Obviously, that was massive for my father. But I don't remember his reaction to it. I really don't. Maybe I wasn't born yet. I couldn't tell you, even if I was, because I literally have no memory of it, which is crazy to me. I feel like I should have something in my mind that some emotional linkage that tells me that it existed. But I don't. Also, this is the fastest I've done a portal like this. Oh my god. I was such an idiot last night. I made the worst little portals. But I don't even have iron. So I need that. But yeah. So death, I've had it in my life. But I don't think that it's really changed me. And why I think that's important is because soon, within the next 2 years, at most 2 years, my father... Ooh, no, that's not good. My father will be dead. And that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody. What? Can you go eat a big old pile of balls, bro? I cannot deal with you. Okay. But yeah, he will be. Flat out. There's no cure. There's treatment, which is why he gets 2 years, obviously. But that forces me to realize the true consequence of death, the personal consequence, much sooner than I would like. Obviously, even since I was a child, I've known what death does. I know that it is consequential, you know? And I knew, in the last episode, I talked about my cat dying, and I just mentioned my grandpa dying. I knew, with my grandpa, after the fact, I didn't really know in the moment. With my cat, I knew in the moment, obviously. I knew those were important things. I knew those were consequential things, theoretically. I knew that. But I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the consequence. And if you're not at the emotional maturity when it happens, then it's a different kind of processing. It's a different kind of grief, I guess. It's a retrospective grief. There you go. I think. For me, at least. It wasn't passionate. It was drawn out. Which is good when you are, just trying to chill the fuck out. But now, at a very, very important moment in my life, I have to deal with my father's passing at some point soon. And I have to weigh a lot of different decisions regarding that, on how far I want to be, how far and close. Death it's a very curious thing. That was all an intro to say death is a very curious thing. And not just because of what I think children's experiences of it might be, but I mean, it just is. It's kind of crazy. It's very important and also very crazy. What would we be without death? And not in the science fiction sense, not what would our society be if we had unlimited population and not enough resources. No, that's all whatever. That's cool stuff to think about, but it's not personal. That detaches you from the real problem. Not the problem, but the idea. Why is there no iron? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. That detaches you from the real idea. Can we experience happiness without pain? And I think this is it's a very talked about thing, kind of thought about thing. I think that most people have thought about this idea at least once in their life, because it's obvious, right? It's like we experience a lot of things in life through contrast, through hot and cold, through I was gonna say happiness and depression. I mean, but that's an innate contrast already. That's not even something you need to think about. Those are two different things, two separate things that are also the same. They're the same process. Sorry. Yeah, they're the same process, right? So if we have happiness and depression, then what is the opposite of grief? Because grief it's not depression. You can have depression from grief, but it isn't that. Wow, that's awful. That's kind of all I need, though. I'm gonna die. I need a shield, too. Oh, shit. I've died to skeletons so many times on Hardcore Worlds. They're literally the worst. Oh, thank the Lord. So what's the opposite of grief? Is it togetherness? I don't know. I don't think so. What just popped in my head when I said that, because I'm just fucking yapping about. I am going off my brain. The dumb old brain. To me, the opposite of grief is what Aristotle called eudaimonia. Eudaimonia. I'm not dumb. I know how to say it. Eudaimonia is what you could call true happiness, and it's a very prevalent thing in especially American society. At the time of the founding fathers writing of the Constitution, obviously they read these classic philosophers, especially Aristotle and Adam Smith, even more especially. So what the writers of the Constitution garnered from Smith was life, liberty, and property. Right? That was their own extension of Smith's values. But he himself, and what they honestly were probably talking about ultimately, was eudaimonia. Was this true happiness? Oh my god, I would love that. If I could have that. No, okay. Kill yourself. Don't do that. Alright, never mind. But what they were probably talking about is this true happiness. This innate happiness, you know? Something that you can always experience and that isn't temporary at all. It is drawn out, it's long, and it's steady. And it doesn't mean you'll always be happy in the moment. It just means that you are happy. Right? I need that gravel. Don't I? Yeah, probably. So, anyway, to me, the opposite of grief is eudaimonia. I think. I just got the shit jump scared out of me by a guy outside my window. And also a creeper. When my recording was paused. Oh my god, I'm gonna die tonight. So, anyway, I was talking about eudaimonia and grief. So, if grief is the opposite, in my mind at least, let's say it is, for the sake of whatever the fuck this is. Let's say it is the opposite. For any contrast, you need one to have the other. That is just a fact. You don't know what hot is if you never have cold. Because then it is simply a constant feeling. And you can't sense the thing itself. That's not how our brain works. We sense, we feel, we know the difference between things. We know what changes, or what we think changes, honestly, because sometimes we imagine things change. Oh my god, I thought I used up all my iron. When they really haven't at all. So that's obviously, if we do that, that's probably a coping mechanism for our brain. To signal the passage of time, even if it hasn't really happened. Time obviously has passed, but if the change itself hasn't actually happened, we still need to feel like it so we know that there has been something that passed, some idea that is time. I'm probably gonna die in the nether. Okay. So, we've established this contrast. So, obviously, I think where I'm going with this, without death and grief, we cannot be happy. Fuck, I don't know why I waited there. Okay, I'm about to fall. Fuck you. Oh my god. Why am I so bad at this right now? I promise I'm good. What? Bro. There we go. Oh my god. There we go. I'm actually gonna... I deserve it. Oh my god, there's ancient debris there. Oof. Okay. Whew. Hold on, I need to see where an ancient fortress is. Okay, found one. I don't wanna... Fuck. I don't wanna search that much. Oh, he's at the portal again. I don't think I'm gonna kill this guy. Nope. Okay, let's just go. It's negative 29359. Hey, there's a workforce there. This is kind of awesome spawn, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you little... Come on. Oh my god, that shouldn't have hit him. That poor guy. No. Whatever. Negative 293 this way and this way. Okay. Towards my fallen little guy over here. What was I talking about? Something about, yeah. In my opinion, we can't be happy without grief, which I don't think that's a strange opinion at all. I think a lot of people hold that thought. It makes total sense. Despite that, we still, culturally, really, we villainize, I don't know if that's the right word, grief. We make it something that is really horrible. And it is horrible. And I don't think in any culture or interpretation or in societal expectation that one will not be sad when grieving. I don't think that's possible. Actually, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome sauce right there. Oh, that's not awesome sauce. That's obviously not something we can control, the crying itself. It will always, always be sad. It'll be horrible. And that's okay. It's meant to be. We're literally meant to feel horrible when someone dies. We need to convey that something has happened that has hurt us. Kind of like economically, not that. That's a very horrible way of saying it. But evolutionarily, we've developed that to convey to others that we need help at this time because something or someone we relied on and also inadvertently loved has gone away, right? And we need to convey that to people in order to survive better. Oh, what am I saying? Yeah. I guess I just say this because sometimes I think I wish death just didn't exist. You know, the classic, like, why me? Why right now? This is a horrible time. I know everyone has to die. I accept that. I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of death. But this is just such a bad time. I'm scared of what it'll do to me. I don't know if I'm ready for death.